Good afternoon. Welcome to the tea table. I am so happy you have joined us today. We're wonderfully enjoying June, and tomorrow is the first day of summer. So we are truly getting ready and enjoying summer already. Well, if you haven't gotten your tea yet, please pause and get your tea, and I will be waiting for you. And I have brought a tea tray full of fun things, and my bouquet is from my garden, and some of my roses are just a tiny wilted, but I wanted to bring and show you my posy vase that I just love. And what I did, I put a frog in the bottom. A frog, for you who don't know, it's a little round metal with pokey things that will grab the flowers. And I had one that just fit perfect in this lovely, I love the colors in this vase. And it's all roses and not cobalt blue, more of a royal blue, and pink and lavender, and I just absolutely love this little pot. And I had a few faux flowers in it, which I didn't really like. I'm taking all the faux flowers away now and just having my real flowers, whatever I can find in my garden, in my home. Whoa, the petals are falling everywhere. They're just a little bit. But I was thinking, so many teapots have roses. Here's a lovely teapot, and it's filled, if you look closely, it's all roses. And I thought, I am combining a little set. This pot is unique to itself. My little creamer and sugar, I'll show you, they stack. Isn't that adorable? And one of the dearest friends of the tea table gave this to me for my birthday a few years ago. She found in a little antique shop. And I just love this. I think it's so adorable because it fits so nicely on a tray. Well, for my cups, these are perhaps my most special cups. I don't know how to measure China, but they are the White Cliffs of Dover. And we are going to go to England today to celebrate Royal Ascot. So I thought I will use these. This is the White Cliffs of Dover. Now I had one of these cups, and then for my birthday, another dear friend of the tea table gave me a second one, and I wanted to read to you. Oh, I should have done this earlier because now I have to put my glasses on. But I wanted to read the maker of this china because it's so unique. It's Paragon for the Queen. For the Queen and His Majesty, Queen Mary. My, that's going back. Now that Queen Mary is the mother of the last king. I'm sorry. Queen Mary goes back. She is the mother of Queen Elizabeth II that died 2 years ago. Now let's see what this says. It is the same. It's Paragon, and it was made in honor of Queen Mary. I didn't realize that. That is really special. Now I know that I don't know how my friend found me. This was the one that I had, the White Cliffs of Dover. And we know the White Cliffs of Dover are so important to all of history because so many books, when people were escaping persecution, whether it would be in the Middle East or it would be in Northern Europe or Eastern Europe, and they could get to England. They could see when you cross from Calais, France, to England, to Brighton, England, you see the white cliffs of Dover. It represents hope, and that's why I think it's so significant. This is your cup of tea. And my friend that gave me this, Jamie, she is very British in her heart and lived in England for a while also and loves all of the British things. So I am just so grateful to have 2 cups, one for you and one for me, and a splash of cream. And like I said, this came from another dear friend, and from the tea table. She gave it to me for my birthday. And it's just such a special gift. Each little tea thing is so special, and it's not hard to store them. If you have a cabinet, you can just set them in. They don't have to all be displayed. You can stack them carefully and store them carefully. Yes. And it's just fun to pull them out, and it's kind of amazing how time flies. I think I used this cup a year ago, and I can't remember the occasion. It was something to do with Britain. Maybe it was the Queen. Yes. Well, I have a little treat, and I put it in a little gold dish. Well, I'll show you. It's just a sweet little green and gold dish. And these are pistachio Italian. I call them scorpa, but they are more like a biscotti. They're little baby pistachio. Look how little they are. Next time I make my scorpa, I am going to try to make them small. And it's interesting because you can be creative and put a lot of different flavors in biscotti. There's almond, and I love the flavor of, it's like a licorice flavor, but it's called anise, and I love that flavor. Years ago, I worked at a place and a girl gave me cookies. She was Russian, and she said they were Russian cookies, and they had a strong anise. And then they had nuts, and they were very much like a biscotti. Very interesting. And my friend that gave me this, her name is Jana, and she's very dear. Jana and I go way back. We met doing music. She's a pipe organist, and she ended up accompanying a lot of my children for their musical events. And then she accompanied my children's choir for many years. We did it at St. David's Episcopal in Shelton, and then we did it at Faith Lutheran in Shelton. But it was a community choir that we opened up for all children, all school-age children. And I discovered something very interesting. If you have a pipe organ, you have the ultimate for teaching children to sing. I had them from 3 years old all the way up to high school. And we did a lot of traditional hymns. We did fun songs. I have a whole collection of songs I collected around the world, different little language songs that we would do. I had a Dutch Hallelujah. I had a German prayer, Vater wir danken dir. And we had the African Kumbaya. And we would do different countries, go around the world. And I found out, I did not know how powerful a pipe organ is. It teaches the children to sing. It's just the ultimate. And now we know why Johann Sebastian Bach, when he found the pipe organ, he said, I found my life. He had done singing, he had played violin, he knew all the instruments, he was a composer, he played the harpsichord. But he walked miles and miles to hear the great Buxtehude play the pipe organ, and he fell in love. fell in love, and the rest is history. Well, it's so nice to be with you today. And I want to talk a little bit about Royal Ascot. I'm wearing my hat, and I have a purse. Now this purse could be casual or formal. It's woven straw, and my shoes are woven straw. I can't show you, and this is a very nice purse. It has a top that has a zip, so it's a nice box you can put things in. But then if you're in the store and your purse is sitting in your cart, you can zip it. And it has, I think, summer animal prints, but it's very quality. It's very nice. And I think it goes nice with my straw hat. Now last year I had this spectacular pink hat, and I will wear it again, but I thought I can't wear it for Royal Ascot again because I just can't wear the same thing twice for the same event. So this hat is very fun, and I'm wearing a cream because Royal Ascot is very formal, and it's very, you have to be, if you are going to be in the royal box, which is the top box, you have to be invited by the royal family. And there are a lot of people that get to do that are friends. But then there are 5 levels, and you go down, and the other ones you pay to get in. And I think the lowest one is like 40 or 60 pounds, and they go up. But people bring what they call luncheon, British luncheon. And in the past, people always brought fine china, silver. But I heard from someone that what happened, people would take the china and they'd be walking around talking, put it down somewhere, and then they were losing their china and silver. So now they probably use perhaps plastic, and they perhaps also use paper, but they're nice formatted. And some people, I'm sure, still bring china. I think I would bring china because china is so nice to eat off of. And then they bring a lunch, sandwiches, and very, very British. And if you have a butler, you bring your butler to help serve. People serve each other. It's kind of fun. And then people may invite you to their picnic. It's just really old-fashioned, and I love it. And I want to honor Royal Ascot. So here we give a cup of tea and a toast to the King, the Queen, and Britain with our wonderful white Dover, cliffs of Dover, China. Well, we are living in the real world, and we all know that there's a lot going on. There is so much going on right now that it's over everyone's head, and it involves America, the Middle East, it involves every nation of the world, actually. And we need to be calm, trust God, and pray, because my true philosophy is, if there is something bigger than us that we literally cannot do anything about, we are not to be stressed out over it. We must commit it to God, ask Him for His help, and pray. Well, I have some very dear friends, and I think I may have talked about them before, Merv and Merla Watson. And many of you know Merv and Merla. They are the most wonderful musicians. Merv and Merla are actually opera singers, but they also wrote their own music, and they sang folk music, and they wrote a lot of songs for Christianity and for Israel, and a lot of comfort to Israel. And they wrote, Merla is the composer basically, and she is a violinist and a violist, and they're very good musicians. Well, I had the privilege of knowing Merv and Merla through my life from a young age very well. I actually lived with them in Toronto for a while, and I traveled with them in Europe. We traveled all around. They formed a group they called Shekinah, and it was 60 members, musicians, dancers, and singers. And I was part of the singing. And we went through the cathedrals of Europe and we performed. We performed at Trafalgar Square. We performed in York Minster in York. We were in Holland with Corrie ten Boom. She was a close friend of Merv and Merle's. And we got to meet Corrie ten Boom and be with her in several meetings and services. And Merle wrote hundreds of songs, and I love all of her songs. But there is one song I just love the most, and I don't know why, but it's called Unto the Hills Around Do I Lift Up My Longing Eyes. It's Psalm 121. It's actually, she took the lyric words from the Psalter, the Scottish Psalter, where they are rhyming. Now, most of her music, she wrote original lyrics to, but she took those lyrics, which are absolutely beautiful, and put it to a beautiful melody. And I kept, when I heard about Israel, the Middle East, the bombing, the issues, Iran, Iraq, I started thinking of this song. And I thought, this song, it's for right now. And I've been singing it all day long. And I thought, could I possibly share it with my tea people as a comfort to you? Now, I found it on YouTube, and this is Merv and Merle about 15 years ago. They are singing in Holland, and I'm going to play it for you. And if you like it, you can look up, they're online. Their music is all over. They did a lot of recording. They are much older now, and they are living in Canada. They lived in Israel for 40 years. They actually started the Feast of Tabernacles, which goes on where all the Christians from around the world come and celebrate in Israel every year. And Merle was given a very special award from the Israeli government, as her contribution through music has been so great, and Merv's. And so they've been really honored. But I want to share this song, and I'm pulling it up on my iPad. Now let's see if this modern technology, let's see if we can do anything with this. Let's see if I can make this happen. And I'm going to play it. Now he's going to introduce it, and it's translated. The Dutch people are translating it. So I want you to hear his introduction, okay?
David looked out over Israel. David looked out over Israel.
David die keek over Israël uit.
And he saw all of the altars that were on the high places.
En hij zag al die altaren op die hoge plaatsen staan.
Because the people of Israel said, we'll save the big questions to the temple once a year.
Want mensen van het volk had gezegd van de grote vragen die bewaren we voor 1 keer het jaar voor in de tempel.
But we'll ask all the little questions to our gods on the top of the mountains.
Maar alle kleine vragen die zullen we aan God vragen op de toppen van de bergen.
So David said, unto the hills around do I lift up my longing eyes.
En daarom zei David, tot de heuvels rondom mij hef ik mijn ogen op.
Where does my help come from?
Hij zei, maar waar komt mijn hulp vandaan?
The Lord who made heaven.
Hij zei, mijn hulp komt van de Vader, van de Heer die de hemel en aarde gemaakt heeft.
Psalm 121.
Psalm 121.
Shall my salvation come from whence? From every evil shall he keep thy soul. From every sin, the Almighty shall preserve thy going out, thy coming
For anyone struggling with ear ringing, do not drink water. You may not know this.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. My technology needs help. I could probably do it in a better way, but I was trying to hold it up. It's hard to hold it up with your arms that long, but the basic song is so beautiful. And the words again are, unto the hills, around do I lift up my longing eyes. That's King David. That was a prayer. For my salvation comes from you alone, O God. It's a cry. Isn't it perfect for today? If you really like this and would like me, I can send you a link to Mervyn Merla. Most of you know how to get in touch with me, and I can send you a link because their music is just gorgeous. It's for today, and it needs to be played. There's something about a song that brings a comfort and hope that nothing else does. And a song goes on. A poem goes on. Poetry is so important. So much of the Bible is poetry, and we don't even realize it because it doesn't rhyme the way that the English rhymes. But the book of Job, which is the oldest book in the Bible, most of it is poetry. There's a couple of chapters of prose, but it is considered the greatest poetry ever written by many scholars. It is so beautiful on the descriptions of the heavens, the stars, and nature. It's just breathtaking. It's good to read poetry. It's good for the soul. It's good to hear good songs. So I hope that you are having your own little Royal Ascot. We as Americans, we have the Kentucky Derby, and that's nice. But because America is so big, only a few people go to the Kentucky Derby because it's so far away. For us, it would be 6 hours to get to Kentucky from Washington State flying. In England, you can basically take a train and drive almost to every place within a day or two. I remembered from Edinburgh to London was a 10-hour train ride, and that is going from one country to the next, the big capitals. So in England, everything is much closer, much smaller, but it's a beautiful place, and it's so powerful. Such a powerful place, yes. Well, I just appreciate all of you so much. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you've been inspired to pray for America, pray for Israel, pray for all the nations of all the world, that God will bring peace, that wisdom will prevail. We don't want war. We want peace. So shalom chavarim, and have a beautiful summer. I pray we all have the best summer we've ever had. We enter in tomorrow, and it's We have until September 20th, so it's 3 full months of summer. God bless. Thank you again, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, share, push the notification, and if you liked it, and a comment I love. Thank you for being faithful friends to the tea table. I love and appreciate all of you. God bless. Have a great week.